Pattern interrupt. The year is 1883. A young cowboy named Robert Reed Ellison is driving cattle through the rugged Chinati Mountains just outside Marfa, Texas. As the sun sets, he notices strange lights flickering in the distance. At first, he thinks it's a campfire, but the lights move, gliding across the plains, changing colors from white to red to blue. He watches for hours, but never finds a source. That night, he writes in his journal, "I have seen something that cannot be explained." Pattern interrupt. Fast forward to today, and those same lights are still being seen. Tourists flock to a designated viewing station 9 miles east of Marfa, hoping to catch a glimpse. But despite over a century of investigation, we are no closer to understanding what they are. This is not a crime in the traditional sense. No victim, no perpetrator, no motive. But it is an investigation into the unknown. And like any good true crime case, the evidence is contradictory, the witnesses are reliable, and the answers are unsettling. Cliffhanger. So, are the Marfa lights a natural phenomenon, a hoax, or something far stranger? Let's begin our investigation. Pattern interrupt. Act Y. The setting. Marfa, Texas, population under 2,000, sits in the high desert of Presidio County. It's a place of stark beauty. Endless skies, sagebrush, and silence. The viewing station is nothing more than a parking lot with a sign. On any given night, you might see a dozen cars, cameras, and binoculars aimed at the horizon. The lights appear as glowing spheres, sometimes stationary, sometimes darting. They can be as small as a basketball or as large as a car. They often split into 2 or more, then merge back into one. Pattern interrupt. Witnesses include everyone from locals to scientists to law enforcement. In 1977, a Texas Department of Public Safety officer reported seeing the lights while on patrol. He described them as glowing red orbs that moved with intelligence. He followed them for miles, but they always stayed just out of reach. This is important because law enforcement officers are trained observers. They are not prone to fantasy. Yet here was a professional, risking his credibility, to report something he couldn't explain. Cliffhanger. So, what did he actually see? That brings us to Act 2, the investigation. Pattern interrupt. The first formal study was conducted in 1976 by a team from the University of Texas. They set up telescopes, cameras, and spectrometers. For weeks, they recorded dozens of sightings. But when they analyzed the data, the results were inconclusive. The lights did not match any known aircraft, star, or weather phenomenon. They emitted no heat signature, no sound, and no detectable radiation. The team concluded, "We cannot identify the source." That's scientific code for "we have no idea." Pattern interrupt. In 2008, a group of students from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology took up the challenge. They brought high-resolution cameras and infrared sensors. For 5 nights, they pointed their equipment at the same viewing area. And they did capture something, but not the lights. They captured headlights from cars on a distant highway, 30 miles away. The highway, US 67, runs parallel to the viewing area. On certain nights, atmospheric conditions can cause the headlights to refract and appear as floating orbs. Pattern interrupt. This became the leading explanation. The Marfa lights are just car headlights. The press ran with it. Skeptics declared